Hello, my name is Kaylin Voss, and this past summer I was the Arthur Vining Davis Fellow in Strategic Communications at the University of Iowa Office of Sustainability in Iowa City, Iowa. I myself am a creative writing major, originally from Davenport, Iowa. So the Office of Sustainability is part of the Facilities Management Department at the University of Iowa, which basically means it helps run the day-to-day of the University of Iowa. And the office is actually really fundamental to the university because it has over 33,000 students, much larger than Cornell. And as such, a large school with a large student body has the potential to cause major environmental harm. And so the office uses various initiatives to try to curb that. The office has many initiatives in order to help keep the University of Iowa and Iowa City as a whole very green. These include the Green Dorm Room Initiative, biking, compost cleanup, and eco-hawks. And all of these initiatives fall under the 2020 Vision umbrella. And 2020 Vision started in 2008 after a major flood in Iowa City. And it's basically just to make small changes in the Iowa City community in order to make a positive environmental impact. And so I had the opportunity to work with the office and help fulfill some of these initiatives. The scope of my project, I was originally brought on to be a communications fellow. And so that means that I organize sustainability library and resources, and I would do staff interviews and write bios and put them on the office website. I really was focused on working on the website in order to put official content and edit what was already there. But what I didn't know going in was that I would also be sharing sustainability initiatives at freshman orientation fairs and represent the office at Iowa City functions in order to further the office mission and educate the public on some of the going green practices that the office practices. And so the main scope of my project, which I anticipated going in, was writing and working on the office website, doing bios, telling the public about news stories and events going on in Iowa City, advertisements and educational articles about environmental practices. That's actually an example of one of the pages that I worked on. But what I didn't realize when I went into my fellowship was that I would actually be going out and interacting with people. I thought as an English major, I'd be sitting at a desk writing stuff. But one of the major things that I did was go to freshman orientation fairs with other office interns. And because the University of Iowa is so large, they have multiple orientation fairs in order to tell the incoming freshmen about initiatives. And so we had two tables at the orientation fairs, one about biking and one about eco-hawks and green dorm room. And so the office really wants to encourage incoming freshmen to bring bikes instead of cars, because if every freshman brought in a car, it would cause major parking and emissions fiascos, honestly. And so everybody was encouraged to bring in a bike and ride it around Iowa City in order to experience Iowa City in its full glory. And the Green Dorm Room Initiative was also part of that in order to encourage incoming freshmen to bring in organic or sustainable materials like soap or laundry detergent in order to lessen their footprint on the environment. And then the last major thing I did as part of my communications fellowship was I participated in a thing called Science Thursdays, which wasn't specifically put on by the Office of Sustainability, but was still part of the University of Iowa. Every Thursday in one of the courtyards around the science buildings, they would have science demonstrations like robots or how to make disposable seed pods for ragbri. And there was live entertainment and a bunch of food trucks. And so that caused a lot of food waste. And it was very well attended, so the office decided, hey, let's take advantage of this and send in some interns and volunteers to try and educate people on how over half of their food waste was compostable instead of just throwing it away and having it rot in landfills forever. So what I did, I eventually moved up to a management position. I helped educate the volunteers and people who attended Science Thursdays and helped set up. And we collected about 60 pounds of compost every single Thursday, and that's compost that was saved from just sitting in landfills forever. And one thing that was really interesting about this was that me and the other interns, the whole point of this was to educate the people who went to Science Thursdays, and there would be people who would come back every week and would say, oh yeah, I remember you told me about this. And so they learned how to compost by themselves and taught other people how to do it. And so it was just a way that we saw an actual impact of what we did on the community and saved a lot of trash. And so what I learned what it takes to make a large campus like the University of Iowa run. Fun fact, the university spends tens of thousands of dollars just on watermelons for their dining hall every year. Fun fact. I learned interpersonal interviewing skills. If I was shy before, I am not now. And I learned what makes good web content and how working on a website actually works. I learned a new program, Silver Stripe, that I had no experience with before. And additionally to that, I learned AP style of writing, which is used in publication, as opposed to MLA style, which is used for writing academic papers, which was what I was most familiar with. I learned office skills, cleaning, how to work with other people in a small space. That's a picture of me with some of the other interns at the office. And before I started this, I never really considered myself an overly green person. But through this fellowship, I was able to learn just small changes I can make in my life and the life of others, like using organic and reusable items in order to make a better impact on the environment. And the most important thing that I think I learned from this was versatility. I am a creative writing person. I thought that I would just be sitting at a desk writing content for the website, and that was the only way I would be communicating with people through the website. But this office and this fellowship gave me the opportunity to actually go out and interact with people in person and tell them about the important work that the office does in order to let people know about the important initiatives that can help maybe save the world. And the impact of this, I helped contribute awareness about the sustainability at the University of Iowa. I think I left lasting improvements on the office, library, and website. This was it before, and that was it after I got to it. It's much better now. I raised my own personal eco-awareness, and I like to think I became a more sustainable and green person due to this. I learned firsthand office experience in a large organization like the University of Iowa, which I feel gives me very good experience for future job hunting. And I experienced living in a large city like Iowa City, and I fell in love with the atmosphere, and I can imagine myself going back there after I graduate and trying to find a job. And most importantly, I think, I was exposed to new ways I could use my creative writing degree in ways that I never thought I could. And so I am seriously looking into sustainability jobs for after graduation, which is really great. It opened new avenues for me. And finally, I would like to thank the Arthur Vining Davis Foundation for funding my fellowship and allowing me to do it. Sue Astley, the head of Rise Up, for actually introducing me to this opportunity and pointing out that I would be a good fit for it. Thank you, Sue. And finally, I would like to thank Liz Christensen, who is pictured with me. She is the director of the Office of the Sustainability, and she was my site mentor, and she welcomed me with open arms and really allowed me to be part of the important work that she and the other employees do there. So thank you.